Yeah, you read that. You read that right. You read. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to Touch Talk with Ty. Oh my God. It is what a time to be alive, right? All right, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the sponsors. Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzaria, located on Emma Street. Maybe you're in town for the game tomorrow. You've planned a trip for the day and you might stay the night. Why not go check out the Odd Soul? A little bit before tip-off. Tip-off tomorrow night's going to be a little late with Arkansas and Duke. Duke coming to town. Fantastic pies. Great stuff on tap. They've got you covered over at the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria located on Emma Street in Springdale, Arkansas. I can't believe this. Bobby Petrino. This is being reported from Mr. Pete Thamel. If you don't know who he is, Thamel, I think it's pronounced Thamel. College football senior writer for ESPN. He's an insider for College Game Day. Yeah, he works for ESPN. He has reported that Bobby Petrino, or I'll just read the tweet. This was about 40 minutes ago. Sources: Arkansas is hiring former head coach Bobby Petrino as the school's next offensive coordinator. Petrino has indicated in the recruiting space that he's in the mix for an SEC coordinator job. So it's nothing concrete. We don't know that he's coming here, but it's being reported from ESPN. It's being reported by Pete Thamel, not a guy that misses often. Now, this doesn't mean that he has signed on the dotted line. He's not being flown here at the moment as far as I'm aware. By the way, plane trackers out there, I'm just saying, let's keep an eye and keep that in the OC talk on Discord for Patreon supporters, by the way. If you've got any more information, please keep it there. So for the folks who pay for the Patreon, they get the insider scoop on that. And again, if you're tracking any planes, go there. Go to that page, to the OC page on Discord. Again, for Patreon supporters only. All right. By the way, I talked with QB Spotlight, Stephen Hamner, on speaking of Patreon. Talked to him yesterday. That interview is up if you haven't already watched it. He talks about kind of what happened, his thoughts on what happened with Arkansas football. I mean, I get it. We all know what happened, but it's interesting to hear it from his perspective. And he also talks about, future OC. No, we did not bring up Bobby Petrino. But you know what? We said this. I think I said this on our interview. I think I've said this before. The hire is going to be something we don't see coming. It's whether that's good or bad. And it sounds like that could literally be what's about to happen if this happens. Now, to be clear, there is a clause. There's something. Andrew Hutchinson wrote an article about this from Best of Arkansas Sports. He wrote an article. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but there is a way for Petrino to return, but it's pending approval from the top of the mountain with Arkansas when it comes to Arkansas coaching hirings. So it's above Hunter Yurachek's head. It's not as simple as Hunter Yurachek just signing the dotted line also and bringing Petrino in. There are steps involved. So I can't even believe this is something we're talking about. I did not see this happening. This is certainly a hire that would either piss some people off or make some people really extremely excited. And I feel like there's some people in the middle. I think I'm somewhere in the middle on this. I listen, hiring Jessica Durrell, the woman he was having the affair with, and giving her money and hiring her in and promoting her, that was some, Not great. So is he coming in with baggage? However, and of course he is, a lot of baggage. A&M did it. They hired him. Of course, that didn't happen to their school. A lot of Arkansans felt betrayed by that. And I've also been told that there were people close to the university that were happy to see him go, by the way. I want to make that perfectly clear. And I've talked to several people about this very subject. They were thrilled to see him and Jeff Long hit the road. Obviously, Long would take a little while longer, and there were fans that were happy to see them both go. But this is a complicated situation. It's got to be, first off, you're bringing over baggage. It's not like Bobby Petrino has lit the world on fire. It's not like the guy is killed it at A&M last year. He certainly did some good, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to go over some of his numbers. I think those matter more than what he did or didn't do at Louisville, or what he did at Western Kentucky, or what he did at Missouri State last year. I think what he did with SEC caliber talent and then some at A&M, that matters far more. So we'll go over some of those numbers. Again, I appreciate you guys for shout out to Nate Hadley and Austin Foster for retweeting the live. I appreciate you. Shout out to Ashley Davis, a new Twitter follower. You can follow me at Tuss Talk Ty. Unreal. The beer talk. Damn near everyone employed by the U of A was happy that him and Long were fired. Yeah, this is pretty. For anyone who's been near the program when he was here, or talked to anybody, and they worked within the university, or worked with the university, did not like the guy. Now that was then. He apologized to the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Was that last year he did that, or was that 2021? Regardless, he went to the Little Rock Touchdown Club. It feels like 2 years ago, but maybe longer. No, it was at least within the last couple of years. He did do the apology thing, and they gave him a standing ovation. And I don't know that I've heard anything out of A&M people that they had any sort of problem, or the same with Western Kentucky. I know that there were some tight stipulations when he went back to Louisville, and now he had that final bad season, and they let him go. I think it was a little premature, but then again, it's not like the guy is what he once was. Are you getting 2011 Bobby Petrino? No, I don't think you would. If he's hired, I don't think so. Can he turn the situation around? Assuming he gets full control, let him bring in his staff, let him do his thing. Yeah, absolutely. You can't do any worse with the offensive line, right? I think he could find a wide receiver coach if Pittman lets him do his thing. I think the only way this works is if you let him do his thing. I think that is the only way this works. You have to come in and let him take full control. Sam has got to get the hell out of the way. Now, I don't know how involved he was with Enos. I have no idea. And again, this is all hypothetical at the moment. I'll give you credit, Ty. You've always said 2011 Bobby ain't coming back, LOL. This is kind of a freak show, but hey, I'm down for whatever. Beer Talk says he hasn't changed as per colleagues in Springfield. Well, if that's the case, then, I don't know. Addison says he left Louisville in a train wreck. I've heard that it wasn't great. And listen, we all know when he was fired here what happened. It's been a nightmare since he left Arkansas. The worst decade in my time alive, right? And I was born in 83. There have been some dark times. Jack Crow, Danny Ford, a couple of years under Nutt, the Jeff Long, the Bielema, the Chad Morris, and now the Sam Pittman. Been a lot of dark times, but this has been the darkest decade, without a doubt, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, how can you not? I mean, how do you look at 2012 and go, well, the John L., whatever. And I don't even put that on John L. I put that on Petrino. What happened afterwards? And I'm sure Louisville people will say the same thing. But that's different. That's as a head coach. That's A&M made the hire. A&M went after him as an OC. And again, we're going to go over some numbers. We're going to look at just what they got right and maybe what they got wrong. Ty called for this. What's up? You did, Jeff. I'm pretty sure I saw you. I'll give you credit. I think you did. I think I remember seeing you in chat. Kennedy fired as soon as he hits the ground, says James Swope. We're going to be all over this, and a great way to be involved, again, is the Patreon OC chat room that is, again, available only to Patreon members. We're all over it. I mean, whether it's just staying on top of tweets, whether it's everyone, man, involved on that page. It's great. Shout out to everyone who's involved. A lot of good stuff over there. He can't be any worse than what we have had this past season. What's up, Daniel Hadley? Hope you're doing well, sir. Haven't seen you in a minute. Thanks for being a Tuss Talk member here on YouTube. Petrino is like a Hail Mary pass. It is. I don't know what side of the fence a lot of you guys are on, and in fact, I was going to make that a poll. John Oliver says, join Discord, join Patreon, get the info. I appreciate that, John. Let's do a poll here. For or against Bobby P returning? Let's get a check here on what chat's saying. For or against Bobby P returning as OC. Here we go. Start poll. I'm curious where that goes. That is going to be the most fascinating poll we've ever done here. Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you. This is the best live show on YouTube. We kill it here. We crush it here. We are all over it. If there's something out there, by God, I'm here to talk about it. I'm doing pretty good. Hey, waiting on the VA. Waiting for my Hey, man. I'm so thankful you're here, Daniel. You're an OG. I always love it when you're here, man. You make chat. Just you bring it up several notches, my guy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Also an OG Patreon guy as well. Hit those like people. It helps the channel. There you go. Like and share. Absolutely. Beer Talk. Appreciate you. Danny Ford was a bust. Danny Ford was awful. Danny Ford was awful. And I don't know that he was ever intended to actually be the head coach. If I remember right, I think I read he was actually supposed to be a part of the help of getting a coach here, was advising. He was in some form of an advisory role. Ty, I believe the offense is so bad. If you put paper bag as the new OC, it would win a poll. You're probably not wrong, but listen, Manny, I don't know how old you are, but this is a very, very hot topic among Hog fans. This is one of those, I talk about the pillars, right? We have the pillars of conversation, and they get real red hot in the offseason, right? One of those, I think, is it used to be Nolan Richardson getting some kind of credit from the U of A, whether it be giving him the slapping his name on the floor inside Bud Walton, giving him a statue, right? That's a pillar of conversation. Another one is, does Arkansas belong in the SEC? That's a pillar conversation, right? Should Petrino come back in any capacity? That is one of the pillars of conversation in Arkansas. And I know this because this is what I do for a living. I talk to Hog fans, whether it's Discord, DMs, phone calls. I've had people call me on Facebook. That's a weird one. I've had people email me, DMs on Twitter. This is one of those pillars of conversation every offseason. And you hear it on the radio. Like, they have to address it on the radio for anybody who still listens to the radio, at least in the evening. Bring him back. All right, where are we at? I mean, this poll's we're already almost at 80 votes. For or against Bobby P returning as OC, 76% of you say yes, 24% of you say no. It could get, are there worse hires? Absolutely. And I think a couple of them have kind of been mentioned here or there. I would definitely take Petrino over some of the names I've seen. Petrino about to have back-to-back SEC OC jobs with head coaches on the hot seat. He wants the head gig. Imagine, okay, we have to go into imagination land. What does he call it on Rick and Morty? Is that what it's called? He made Beth. Does anybody watch Rick and Morty? He made Beth, I think it was called Imagination Land. We're about to venture into there, the hypothetical land. If he does come in, and let's say the defense shits the bed, but the offense is fantastic. Now, I have a hard time, if your offense is fantastic, remember when Petrino was here, when he had Willie Robinson as the defensive coordinator, the defense was not good. It was bend, don't break, and then some. It was not good. But his offense outperformed, so I have a hard time seeing the offense lighten it up, whether it's passing yards, rushing yards, total offense, third down percentage, conversion percentage. I have a hard time seeing all those things go great and then Pittman get fired. You know what I mean? Because I would see wins if that's happening. I mean, a great offense can absolutely overcome a lot, but defense does win championships. But I've been a pretty big believer in recent years. The Big 12 has been showing us this for about 20 years, 15 years. Great offenses can do a lot, and I have a hard time seeing Petrino coming in here and lighting the world on fire to begin with. But let's say if that were to happen, I'd have a hard time seeing Pittman get fired. But let's say in this land he does. He gets fired for whatever reason. Could Petrino make a run for the head coach to return? And when you consider he was average, well, again, we'll go over his numbers. Didn't do so hot at Louisville. He produced – listen, he gave the Rams Tyler Higbee at tight end. He was under Petrino. He's still their starting tight end and has been for like ever. I don't know. He still produced NFL talent over there. Not much, but he did. He produced – we know what he did at Louisville his second round. A&M is a different story. It was already a very – the waters were already a little mucky over there, right? It was already a little rough going to A&M. Jimbo was on the hot seat. Everyone knew if they don't win 9 or 10 games, hell, if they don't win 10 games this year, he's gone. And Petrino took the job anyway, which is also why I believe this could really be concrete. I think he does want to return to Northwest Arkansas. I think he does want to come back. And if that's in an OC capacity, maybe that's what he wants to do, or I believe that's what he wants to do. If that happens, you never know. I mean, if the offense lights the world on fire, and Pittman's not retiring anytime soon either. For anyone who's like, well, maybe Pittman will retire, I don't think that's happening either. Again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. Don't forget, tomorrow night is a whiteout. I don't understand that, by the way. I think they did this for Auburn. I think that made more sense. Isn't that right? They did that for Auburn when they came into town where they were number 1 in the country. Duke, who's top 10. Why are you – like Duke's colors are blue and white. Why are you doing a whiteout? Why aren't you doing the classic red and blue, the classic red versus blue? Why aren't you doing a red out? That's strange. And also, I was going to – you know what's funny is while I was actually working on a video – I was going to talk about Edge. Arkansas's got a new NIL rebranding of the NIL, fan-supported NIL stuff. I was literally sitting here recording a video for that, and then I'm getting text messages. Discord's going crazy. It's nuts, guys. It's nuts. Ty, get DJ Williams on here and ask his opinion. He played for the guy. That's a good point. He did play for the guy, and he did wonders for DJ. I know, Carpenter, that sounds like a very pro Bobby Petrino comment there, like you're trying to make a point, but I hear you. Listen, what he did as a head coach and what he did in 2009, 10, and 11, we have yet to really see done again, right? So, again, I don't think that you're getting that. I don't think that you're going to come in and all of a sudden Arkansas is the most dangerous offense in the SEC. I don't think that's what would happen. However, yeah, it would be better. My God, you and I, you guys, and us collectively as a group, as crazy as that would be, huh? We could do better calling plays, directing the offense, putting a better product on the field. Okay, obviously that's a joke. Calm down. Calm down, Mizzou fans. This seems like a bad PR look for the university, says, and that's the other thing. When you consider the baggage and it looks almost desperate. The rumor is they've been turned down. That's the belief. That is certainly the narrative. They have been turned down by at least one guy or another. UNLV OC sounds like he may be staying there unless a head coaching gig comes around. Manny says, Ty, at this point, any improvement, anything is better. For Pittman, it's got to be more than just improvement, though, right? It can't just be, well, we're scoring 4 more points a game. Well, we're running the ball maybe about 25, 30 more yards per game. Maybe we're up, total offense is up 5, 10 spots. No. It can't just be improvement considering how bad the offense was. It's got to be a big turnaround. It's a big job. The thing about Petrino that is very attractive is that the guy has done it. He's done it as an OC. We know what he did years ago when he was the OC for Auburn. I certainly believe that A&M could have done worse this year. especially with Jimbo in charge. And that's the other thing we don't know is how much involved was Jimbo Fisher in that offense last year. Terster says desperate times. Oh, man. Mike Irwin posted this today. Oh, this was 9 o'clock in the morning. This is 9 a.m. this morning. This Mike Irwin might be, I don't know, he could be right. You know how this is. Mike Irwin's, when he's right, you wait a little while. It takes a little while to, something like this. Maybe we don't hear about the hire for a couple of days and it's not Petrino, then he's vindicated, But he said this morning. Petrino's not coming back. So if you're worried about it, forget it. A lot of fans who didn't know him admire the guy because he got results. Some people who knew him hated him, and that is a fact. But others who knew him had a different view. I've talked to so many people. I mean, I've heard some stories, man. I can't tell you. I have heard some stories. The guy was when I say hated, that might even be an understatement. But fans don't care about that. They want a result on the field. I get it. We've all had asshole bosses. Who hasn't, right? We've had people we've had to work with. We hated. He did get results, and you just hope that his attitude has changed. That's about all you can do, right? Let's look at some numbers at A&M. Passing offense, 41st in the country. They averaged 262 yards a game, 24 passing touchdowns on the year. That's not a bad number, but you consider, I really thought they'd be better. I thought they'd be in that 30-plus category in touchdowns. They're just ahead of Louisiana Tech and Utah State at 41st in passing offense. Rushing offense, they were pretty bad. They were 87th in the country, 21 rushing touchdowns, 141 yards per game, almost 1,700 total yards. That was just 2 spots better than Arkansas. You remember how awful the run game was, and I do agree if the run game was better, certainly would have helped out KJ, certainly would have helped out the play-action game. And they were just 2 spots better in the rushing offense. Now, we know Petrino's a little bit more – he likes to pass. He likes a little bit more of the pro-style stuff. Total offense, again, this is where it's vanilla, 53rd in the country. Ranked just ahead of Colorado State, Western Kentucky, and Cal. They average 403 yards a game. Again, I know it's better than Arkansas. I hear that. You also have to consider A&M, all that talent. I mean, that is one of the most talented rosters in college, in all of college football. And, I mean, their offense was not on fire in those categories. However, scoring offense is a different story. 34 points a game. That's 25th in the country. 34.2 points per game. And guess who that ranks just right ahead of? Who's the team that just walked into Fayetteville and beat the shit out of the Razorbacks? Those punks to the north called Mizzou. They finished with 34, right at the same, really it's the same, 34.1 versus 34.2. They finished ahead of Mizzou in total offense. And keep in mind the schedule A&M played versus the schedule Mizzou played. I know Mizzou had to play Georgia and, they had to play Tennessee and so on and so forth. I get it, but A&M, I would still argue A&M played a pretty damn tough schedule. They did also have to play Kansas State, who ended up being pretty good, better than I thought. So I would still argue A&M probably gets listen, that's pretty impressive. 34 points a game, 25th in the country. They didn't turn the ball over a lot either. They were tied for 26th in the fewest turnovers in the country. That was tied with Arizona, right there with Tennessee, teams that didn't turn the ball over a whole lot. Third down offense was also pretty good, 31st in the country. 32nd, ranked right behind Mizzou. And right ahead of Georgia Tech and SMU. We've talked about those guys, the head coach, Rhett Lashley at SMU, and Buster Faulkner over at Georgia Tech, the OC. So they certainly did finish better there. And then let's compare points per drive. 2022, 22. We're not talking about 2023. 22, before Petrino got there, they were 97th in the country. This is from Will Watkins, by the way. Shout out to him. He got this in our Discord. In 2023, they ranked 24th in the country. That is a drastic turnaround. Again, You could do far worse bringing Bobby Petrino to Fayetteville. You absolutely could. However, that is a crash and burn hire, but it's already a crash and burn hire for Pittman. Anyone you bring in here and they don't perform, he's gone. He may not last a damn year. So any move he makes here is make or break for Sam Pittman. So I'm not against it. I'm going to say it. I'm not against the hire, assuming it happens. Again, this was reported by Pete Thamel of ESPN just like almost an hour ago or so. It does feel like we're in the multiverse, man. This is crazy. This would be shocking. It really would. That was also year one stats. Well, I mean, again, if you're talking to me, don't read the comments. By the way, going to be there tomorrow. You guys don't miss it. Tomorrow we're going to do the Duke game. We're going to be streaming the whole time, the stream companion, so shout out to them. It is year one. I mean, that's true, but in this day and age, it takes 2-3 years to develop stuff is out the window. I mean, it just is, especially at a school like A&M with powerful NIL, with what they can do in the transfer portal, with what they can do in recruiting and just NIL stuff alone. I mean, they kind of have their pick of the litter, right? And especially with a guy like Petrino, who's still a name, I believe, maybe not like what he once was. No, I think the year one talk is kind of out the window. Like, if you can't perform year one, you're seeing coordinators get let go after a single season. So, Ty just joined the Patreon. Hey, is that Judd? Your boy Judd? What's up, man? Did you now? Go check it out. The OC talk is there. That's where all the OC talk is really happening. This came out of left field. A big name OC isn't leaving another big program for a lateral move. It's someone without a job. By the way, A&M folks are reporting that no matter what happens, he's not coming back. He will not be back in College Station next year. So we know that much. We know that he's at the very least not going to be an Aggie next year, which is not shocking. You know, a new coach is going to bring in his guys. Boss Hog says Sam Pittman and Petrino equals good cop, bad cop. The players need that badly. They need to let Bobby Petrino be 2011 Bobby Petrino without all the cheating and make sure he doesn't bring a bike, assuming the guy gets the job. No bikes. That's going to be a part of his contract. No motorcycles, Bobby. No, sir. You can't be doing that here, bro. Not this time. Let him be 2011 Bobby. Let him be that red in the face, vein sticking out. Don't Bob Knight a player. Of course, I don't think he's ever been accused of physically hurting a player, but sometimes guys just need their asses chewed. And sometimes he went a little too hard. Tyler Wilson's talked about that. Does a yes vote mean you are? Oh, right. I probably should have put for, not against. You're right. My bad. But yes, vote. Yes would be you're for him coming back, T-Dub. Except it takes time for guys to adopt a system. Year two brings – yeah, again, how many times do you see guys transfer after just a year? This is a whole new era. Again, it's nice to be 2 years in. I agree. It is. And you have an advantage when you got a couple of years. Enos was a year one guy, and you saw how bad things got, and they terminated him, right? Throw the ball, run the ball. Come on, Paul. If this is true, we must be really desperate, pathetically sad. So, again, you've got the people that are hardcore for and hardcore against, and I think you got a few people in the middle. Even R-Dub tweeted that he missed football without the transfer portal. Yeah, so Christopher Poo-Paul, I guess, is officially in the portal, or did he just say that his name – well, wait, we have till Friday, right? It sounds like Poo-Paul, Jordan Crook, gone. We know Samuel Bakke was kicked off the team. If you guys haven't heard, he's no longer I guess he was kicked off. I don't know the whole story there. I'm not going to go in on, all these rumors and whatnot, but there's already been some major change. I'm trying to get the share out here. There's already been folks that have hit the portal, or that intend to, anyways. Ty, look back at yourself 13 years ago. Are you the same person? Give Bobby a chance. Some people don't change, though. I mean, you've got someone in chat who's telling you that he's got contacts where he's been recently, Petrino, and they're saying he's the same guy. Now, you could take it or leave it. I trust that account, Beer Talk. I trust him. He's someone I know personally, and I trust what he says. And he's saying that Petrino, they still didn't like him. They still thought he was – he doesn't – I don't want 2011 Petrino who was a dick to everybody back. I want that, that mindset of getting things right, the attention to detail. Maybe, again, not being an asshole to your players, to your assistants, to the people who work at the university. I don't want that back, but I want the tenacity that Petrino had in 2011. That's what I want back in terms of the way he managed the game and what he built on offense. And I know it was a house of cards, and that is the other part of this, right? That's the other part of the fear. If let's say he signs a 1-year deal and he's gone, what happens to the offense? That would be the concern. Again, welcome everybody. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. DMAC127 says, I don't care as long as we win. I talked to Petrino yesterday. He said he's changed. He only likes brunettes now. Yeah, I mean, that Petrino, you want everyone to change for the better, right? We probably need blunt disrespect if we're not doing right. The American populace says Jumbo never gave him full control of the offense. He will have full control at Arkansas. I don't know. I'm assuming he probably didn't. I've always wondered about how that would work out with him going to Texas A&M. I just hope, if this is the move they make, I hope it's not too big for him. You know what I mean? Like, so much has changed with, especially Arkansas doesn't have the same resources A&M does. You don't have the same kind of coaching pool that A&M does. Although A&M was in a tough spot last year like Arkansas is this year, right? Or Sam is, rather, compared to Jimbo. There's a lot of things to consider here, right? And that's what makes the job even tougher. It's a tough situation to walk into. And, Arkansas now, they've started this new NIL thing, and we'll see how that goes. I was going to make a video about that, but this is definitely it. This is what everyone's talking about. It's all about winning. If he wins, Petrino is a grumpy genius. We need some call-ins. Listen, this is the plan. If they make it official, now tonight it'll suck if they make it official. And I doubt they do. More than likely, we'll probably hear about this tomorrow maybe. I think they want to make the hire before the end of the week. Petrino Sam Pittman knows he's got to with the portal right on the way. It's about to open up. I think that this is – we're going to do a call-in if that happens. That's when we're going to do the call-in. We'll do the call-in if – and we'll probably do a call-in show no matter who they hire, but definitely Petrino. So the call-in show will happen. Maybe they'll promise him a side deal volleyball. Oh, my God. You guys are killing me. Make sure if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. We cover it. All things Razorback football, basketball, baseball. We do it here. Post-game shows are awesome. We've got some super chats. Let me get these read here. We got a couple. John Oliver says, compare Petrino's stats, A&M offense in year one. The past 3 years, they improved dramatically in year one. Yeah, and I agree, John. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They did. And I think you would see – I definitely think you would see some improvement for sure. I mean, it's not that hard. They were so bad on offense this year. But thank you for the super chat. Mr. T-Dub says, been studying the go-go offense, and it is legit. Causes major mismatches, levels the playing field against more talented teams. Really like it. So, T-Dub, are you saying you're against? You don't want Petrino here? You want Marion here? The UNLV OC? Arkansas doesn't have anywhere near the talent he had at A&M, but Pittman will allow him to run the offense. Dumbo wouldn't, says Beer Talk. Ty, check Trey Biddy's latest tweet. It looks like it's definitely happening. Are you serious? This is nuts. Diddy, let's pull it up. Let's pull up. Did you? I'll talk about it here in a minute. Trey Biddy, I now have very good reason to believe Bobby Petrino will be the new Arkansas offensive coordinator. Nothing signed yet, I'm told, but the deal is in the works. Now, at A&M, wow. Just saying that out loud, just thinking about that. If this is true, he was making 1.4. And again, please correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know the numbers here, correct me. But he was making $1.4 million. What was Enos making? It was $1 million, right? It was at least $1 million. 1.4, and that was the actual school pay. And this is coming from USA Today, and I believe this is accurate. I seem to remember him being this sounds right. Although I thought it might have been north of like 1.5 or north of. At Louisville, they're reporting he made $3.9 million in 2018. So he made 3.9 at Louisville for 2016, 2017, and 2018. And then we know he, kind of disappeared for a couple of years, coached small ball, and then came back to A&M. 1.4. So I'm curious with A&M down and didn't light the world on fire on the offensive side of the ball, what kind of deal do they give him? Do they match that? Do they give him more? Again, if this is accurate, if this number is accurate. Western Kentucky, it looks like he made just under $1 million, under 900. He made 855. When he left Arkansas, he was at 3.6. The times have changed. When he was hired in 2009, it looks like he was making 2.8. It's crazy. You look at these numbers. I could have sworn he made more than that in 2009. Anyways, I'm sure with incentives and whatnot. We got more. We have more super chats? No. Okay. Let's go back here. Hal Tech is all about it. He says BMFP. Sorry, but haven't seen much offense in Aggieland, says Ken Beatty. Ken, if you're an A&M fan, tell us your thoughts on Petrino. We will do a call-in. I'm going to do a call-in show if they make it official. We will do a call-in show. Absolutely, 110%. Checking in on our poll, we're 82% of yes of you saying bring him back. Bring back Bobby. Maybe, can I edit this poll? Nope, I can only end it. Take the poll if you haven't already. Make sure you like the stream, the show. The best live show on YouTube, baby. Best live show on the internets. On the internets. Also had a Heisman winner at Louisville. Jackson's pretty good. I love playing him on Madden, by the way. Why won't this go away? Pull up. Okay. Boo on the hire. Bobby says Big D. Dude, if you're doing a call-in show, let me know. I will. I'll send you a text, Nick. The motorcycle man is back, says King Robert. And again, this is being reported. Trey Biddy apparently just tweeted that he has reason to believe that this thing is going down. It sounds like all they got to do is sign the papers. Insane. This could be announced tonight. I could be wrong. This is incredible. We can't move on to a better future if we constantly just look in the past for our answers. Have a total philosophical difference with Pittman on this, if this is true. It does. I mean, let's be real. It does look slightly desperate. I mean, because Petrino is not a super hot commodity as an OC. And whatever happened in Aggieland, if it is true, and I have seen A&M fans say this, that Jimbo did not give him full control. So maybe you approach it a certain way, right? we know what he did when he walked into Fayetteville with Missouri State. I mean, he did whatever he wanted on offense. He shredded Arkansas's defense, but so did everybody else. So it's not like that was a big deal. But for a team of that caliber, with that level of talent, to come in and do what they did to an SEC defense. I mean, Barry Odom was coaching the defense. That's pretty impressive. Now, he probably had a little bit he wanted to prove that he could do it, right? That game alone probably got him the A&M job because it showed that he still kind of had it. And he's still a name. He's still absolutely a name. This confirms who you going to get, group, is right on their opinion. Just saying. I've said all along, David. I've said all along, I might make fun of the who you going to get crowd, but they aren't saying that and me disagree with it 110%. There is some merit to that. Petrino is not a high-caliber get, okay? I know a lot of you would probably, or I shouldn't say a lot of you, but several of you would take the guy over at UNLV or the guy at Georgia Tech right now in a heartbeat. The thing you do feel like with Petrino is he has at least some form of a history, I mean, come on, right? Even as an OC, of not having bad years as an offensive coordinator, somebody who's been pretty effective. And we know what he did as a head coach, and we know he's capable. Does he still got it? And like I've said all along, 2011, I don't think 2011 Petrino's walking through those doors, but that's still a hell of a lot better. Hell, what they did last year is a hell of a lot better than what we got this year. This isn't desperate. This was our always get out of jail card. If Morris did this, he would have had another 2 and 10 year. Well, I don't know. If it's true they've been turned down, I think it is desperate, but maybe not. I'm high on Bobby P, says Mr. T-Dub. I thought maybe you changed your mind. I appreciate the super chat, fellas. Remember, if you want to join, if you want to show a little extra support to an independent guy, a truly independent show, check out our Patreon. We've got it rocking and rolling. Discord's been popping, son. It's been awesome. Come join. Come be a part of it. What's with the Trey Biddy hate? Can someone tell me that? So, Chuck Barrett on Morning Rush. I don't know. Did any of y'all hear that? Chuck Barrett had taken kind of a shot. It was definitely a shot at Trey Biddy. I don't know if he's responded to that. I was going to make a joke. I guess it's my turn to crack a joke at Trey. I like Trey. Trey's a good guy, and I thought the question he asked Sam was perfectly fine. I don't know. Y'all tell me. I didn't understand that. Trey, someone asked me, don't you view him as like competition? No. Not even close. Trey is way up there, right? He's a part of 247. He built 247 to what it is now. I have all the respect in the world for Trey Biddy. I don't think anyone does it better. I mean, listen, Otis Kirk, you guys know how I feel about Otis. Otis, I think, does a great job. But everything that Trey does with managing, 247, the staff that he's brought on, I think he kills it. He does a great job. And no, I have no plans of putting in for another job with 247. I did once. I came close, and I came up short years ago. So this is not any kind of a me kissing any ass. I like Trey. I've talked to him at practice a few times. He's a good guy. I don't know why Chuck would say what he said, and I thought that was, I don't know, man. It's saying that he was what did he say? Turning it into a performance piece or something because he's trying to get subs? No, I think that was Trey Biddy asking because he was curious. And he knows that fans are curious. Like, how do you build momentum going into the next year or going into the offseason? I don't know. You guys tell me. I was going to crack a Trey Biddy joke. I was going to say, I don't know. I guess it's my turn to take a shot. But I couldn't think of anything to say because I've got a lot of respect for him. Anybody heading on Trey Biddy was probably hollering bench KJ as well. Yeah, he's not, I mean, we do. I always view Trey as doing different. His work is different. He is His channel is to build his website, right? It's to build, absolutely. And he and I have talked about that, actually. What I do is I'm going to bring on sponsors. I'm going to build Patreon. I've built a community through Discord with the help of people in Discord, by the way. I haven't done this all on my own. Try to market as best I can this small channel. He's got his hands full with 247. We do, to me, it's like two different shows. He does a good job. We just both happen to talk about the Razorbacks. Trey loves him some good pizza. Oh, does he eat at the Odd Soul? Because that's damn good pizza. I need to grab me another pie, by the way. Now let's fire Kennedy and ride off into the sunset. That's what's got to happen. He's got to go. You can't tell me you're bringing in Petrino and expect him to be able to work. You can't go from Dan Enos if he can't work with Enos. Now, obviously, Enos has his own set of issues. His offense was stagnant. Oh, that's not even the right word. But you can't expect him to stick around. And I'm still a little bit surprised he's here unless, Pittman's going to – if it's true, I'm still waiting on the notification that he's on a plane back to Fayetteville. You can't expect Kennedy to survive that. There's no way. I mean, no matter who they bring in as OC. I don't know how you defend that. I just don't know how that's – I don't know. Kingsley says desperate and morally bankrupt hire if true. Now, would you call A&M morally bankrupt or Louisville? I mean, I think college athletics, I don't want to get into that, but I mean, I've heard that angle. There's a lot of issues with morality here. And he does have baggage. Even before he took the Arkansas job, by the way. I've read the comments. How true they are, I don't know. I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, and then it happened at Arkansas, right? Check Mike Irwin's recent tweet. Are you serious? Let me guess. He's saying it's not happening. See, we can't do this. We can't get all like, oh, my God, and then it just not happen, and then the stream. Just this morning I was telling people this wasn't going to happen. I can confirm that there is something to this. Doesn't mean he has the job, but hurdles to bringing him back are being discussed. Other candidates are in the mix. Mike Irwin also says Petrino checks a lot of boxes. He's been a head coach several times, which, again, we talk about maybe the one thing Odom, the benefit of having Odom here was him assisting Pittman in whatever capacity to help him facilitate the rest of that staff and what they needed to do. I believe there's some truth to that. And Odom, by the way, has a very, very good reputation with the U of A. They like him a lot. He was here, in fact, during spring camp. We saw him. We took pictures. Couldn't believe it. What is Odom doing here? He was here. He has and I know him and Pittman are boys too. That's why he was here. But he's still got a good, they like him. Let's just say that. So there might be something to that, right? Pittman might be something he relies on, bringing in somebody with some head coaching experience within the league. He's fully capable of tearing into high-dollar NIL players who are not delivering. That is the most truest statement. He would likely bring at least one coach with him. He would not be a boring hire. Very important. I couldn't agree more. But they have to get him approved. Hurdles must be cleared. Drama behind the scenes. Well, this is just so true or false. Whatever happens, this has been exciting. This has been exciting. Tell me it hasn't been. I'm all about it, dude. This is what I do. This is why I do what I do. I got to leave here in like 5 minutes to go pick up my kids, but this is why I love doing what I do, man. This is awesome. This is fun, right? No matter if you're a Patreon supporter, if you've given to the Super Chat, this is fun. Are we not having a blast here? I'm going to make a whopping $10 off this live show, according to YouTube analytics. I don't give a shit. This is fun. This is why I do it. This is why I got into it, man. Ty, this could bring a new NIL deal from Harley Davidson. Harley is on board. They are on board, baby. Ty Brandon says, heck, we'd give him a Harley and oh my gosh. Do we really try and have a moral high ground when we hired Bryles? whatever happened with that situation, he also came with baggage. He's got a point. Apparently he made a comment. I mean, listen, he's not wrong. Moral high ground. This is college athletics now, okay? That stuff is just, that ship has sailed. Look at what the NCAA did with Penn State, with the Sandusky stuff. Come on. They completely vacated all the penalties. And that was horrible, what happened. That's not even funny. That's disgusting. What happened, and I used to, like Penn State's history, I liked watching Penn State. Joe Paul, I loved watching him. I kind of kept up with the recruiting for a little while. I liked Penn State. After all that went down, I wanted, of course I'm watching Arkansas. I'm doing my thing with Arkansas, but I liked, if there was another game on and Penn State was on and Arkansas wasn't on, I'm watching Penn State. And after that was disgusting. And the NCAA did what? Now, this is nothing near that bad, okay, what he did. That pales in comparison, right? It still wasn't great. Yeah, we have to drop the whole, it just kind of is what it is. And listen, he looked pretty sincere in the Little Rock Touchdown Club. It looked pretty sincere to me. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't know. Petrino gave a heartfelt apology to everyone. Yeah, he did at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. He did. I think that was 2021, 22. There's too much noise for this to not be true. I agree, Leslie. I agree. Did I just hear a Harley? Did I just hear a Harley pass by? Was that Petrino? Was that him? Hey, come tell us if you're signing. If they announce and bring him out for the Duke game, that ain't gonna happen. But that would be wild. I think, I don't want to speak on behalf of all fans, but I do feel like there's a large group of people who are all for this. And again, I'm in the middle. I think there are some better names out there. I do. But I do think that this is a guy that is capable, more than capable, of putting a far superior product on the field. But we have to let Petrino be Petrino on the field. On the field. Okay? I wonder if he gets his ass kicked on the side of the road again. Was it 2019, Alex, when that happened? No. Was it before COVID? I'm telling you, dude, 2020 just messed me up. It feels like it was more recent. Maybe it was before COVID. Bobby started crying when he apologized, Paul says. He wants to remind everybody. Sammy just hired his replacement. I wouldn't go that far. Yet. Listen, they got to sign on the dotted line. All right, I'm going to go. I got to go pick up my kids. Man, this is fun. This is so much fun. If the hire happens, man, if it happens tonight, it's going to be rough because I don't know how I'm going to make that happen. But I will go live at some damn point. I'll go live and we'll do a call-in show. Again, no matter who they hire, I'd already kind of planned on that anyways. I didn't see this coming. For everyone who told me he was coming back and I said there's no way, you were right. It's at least being entertained. At the very least, we know that this is being entertained. We've had multiple very reliable sources confirm this. Boy, some of those insider Twitter people just kind of look silly. The Facebook and Twitter people that know, boy, they just look kind of silly right now. Then again, everybody does. I don't think anyone saw this coming, but boy, they sure were claiming to have some reliable sources. All right, I'll talk to you guys maybe later tonight. For sure tomorrow. Remember, don't read the comments. I'll be on their show tomorrow. We're gonna do a stream side by side. We're gonna stream part. What do they call it? Stream partner. Stream aid. What the hell do you call those? Whatever. We're gonna be doing that during the game, during the Duke game, and we'll do the post game show with those guys as well. It's always fun. Shout out to Travis and Tim. Regardless, I'll see you either tonight or tomorrow. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, assuming we don't see each other again. All right. Join Patreon.